Good morning on Good Friday. I struggled with a lot of my life thinking what was so good about Friday. If I was Jesus, what part of today would feel good? He was taken, he was judged, he had the same people that were welcoming him on Sunday, cheering for him, chanting, "Crucify him." The religious leaders that had been called out for their hypocrisy had riled up the crowd and got them to chant that. They had gotten their wish of having Jesus killed because he had upset their way of life and, really just called them out on being unloving and unmerciful, which is what God wants for every one of us. And so they had him beaten. They had him flogged. They had him carry his own cross up to Calvary. There he was nailed to the cross, alone, abandoned by those that had followed him out of fear for their own lives. And only his mother and John, the disciple, were there. As these people, these Romans, nailed him to the cross, lifted him up to hang there and to die and to be mocked. He was stripped, and we know the crown of thorns were put on his head. But then he said something extremely powerful. He said, "Forgive them, for they do not know what they do." And I would think, forgive them, they don't know what they do. They did know what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were professional killers, these executioners. And they put him up on the cross, and he's there with the two convicted criminals to his left and his right. And one of the criminals mocked him and said, if you're the Son of God, then, call on your angels, come down, save us all. And the other criminal simply said that we deserve what we're getting, just like you and me. We would deserve to be there next to Jesus. And he said, remember me when you get to paradise. Remember me. And Jesus said to him, "Surely I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." That was what was good about Friday. That simply by us acknowledging that Jesus is who he is and acknowledging who we are, just like that criminal who said, "I deserve this," we deserve it too. But Jesus didn't see it that way. He saw it that he would come and he would fulfill God's promises to get us back into relationship with him through his death. That was the joy that is spoken up when he said he scorned the cross because of the joy set before him. The joy was that he was going to make things right for us, that he was going to open up that door to that relationship with God once again through his sacrifice. That we know that the punishment for our sin is death, but he has paid that punishment. So when Galatians says that I have been crucified with Christ, it is no longer I who live, but him who lives in me. That's who we are now. Thanks to Jesus, thanks to his death, we are now his creation. We are now his. He now lives within us. We no longer have to be punished for what we have done. That's good news, folks. So today, on a solemn day, but a happy day, celebrate that victory, celebrate that day, but also know the price that was paid for you and me. God bless you on this Good Friday, my friends. And I encourage you to invite somebody to Easter on Sunday, on the day that Jesus conquered death, on the most important day of all days, because Paul says without it, our preaching, our teaching, and everything is futile. It would have been a waste of time. So come and hear Pastor Jeff preach on the hope that was Sunday morning, Easter Sunday. I love you, YC, and I'll see you together on Sunday.